and we are just going to hop right in. We are going to be sculpting Cloud Strife today. Let me know in chat how everything sounds. I'm trying a new setup. Let me know how everything looks and sounds. The camera's a bit bigger over here. I got pure ref over here, and I have some what is supposed to be royalty-free background music. So hopefully YouTube doesn't come after me too hard. So what we're gonna do, so I'm just going to scale. All right, we should be good. All right, so I am just going to be, we're trying to increase our time here like per usual, you know, trying to sculpt faster and more efficiently. So I am employing some techniques that I have been learning watching another YouTuber. I think his name is, I think this channel's name is Speed Sculpts, I'm not sure, but he sculpts very well and very fast. And I want to be like that when I grow up. I'm sorry if you can hear that screaming in the background. My neighbor's children run the hallways all day and they don't do anything about it. So please bear with me. And I'm also sorry for being away after I said I was going to be back. Laziness, no excuses. I'm never gonna try to excuse it. I could say, you know, I have like, you know, things to sort out, but not really. Just been, I just need to get back on it. Because I have been doing a lot of stuff for work, and I don't always have the bandwidth to come back home and do it. But that's entirely my problem. Okay, so we're gonna start adding legs to this. I'm just gonna bring this off to the side to duplicate this. Oops, I'm gonna apply the scale and I'm gonna start sculpting again. Bringing out this shape. There we go. Awesome. I'm glad that you were able to get some use out of it. Absolutely. That's what it's there for. So I'm glad. Glad it was able to help somebody. So when I'm sculpting legs, think of the legs as noodles. And especially these legs, he's gonna have pants. So really, we can sculpt them like there's gonna be pants on them. We don't really even have to worry about the anatomy of the leg a whole lot right now. Let's just mirror this. And normally I would have a separate area for the waist. I might do that still, just... Oh gee, let me just bring this up here real quick. And then apply the visual geometry to mesh, and then we'll start sculpting. It does help. It does help to have the waist be kind of like its own thing. That looks insane, doesn't it? Also, in the new Blender, they have added a keyboard shortcut for us to change our selected object in sculpt mode. So now we don't have to go through and literally go from object mode or sculpt mode to object mode, select a different object, go back into sculpt mode. We don't have to do that anymore. We can just go in, select what we want to select right here in sculpt mode. This is a dream. I have wanted this specific feature for so long. That has been my main wish from the Blender Foundation, and they have given it to me. So I could not be happier. Very happy. Very happy. Yeah, that's what we like. Okay, I'm gonna select everything, scale it down a little bit. You don't want things to be too close together. Okay, then I'm gonna duplicate this right here. And bring this down. Move this to the back. Mode. Make these into what would be convincing looking pants legs. And the brush I'm using right now is the Elastic Deform brush. This is one of the better brushes, in my opinion, for changing overall forms. The grab brush is good for like getting into specifics. I'll show you when we get to some specifics, but it's really good for getting into real specific areas that you want to tackle. Okay, now let's make some primitives for his boots real quick. We'll use a cube, and we'll just do some good old-fashioned modeling for this. We're gonna go and we're gonna make this, like I said, just gonna make this a shoe shape, adding an edge loop, just doing simple modeling, And a thing that I'm trying to think about when I'm working is how to work with the simplest form of the thing as possible before going too focused into one detail or another. Just try to simplify what you're doing as much as you can. And also it helps to study, studying a lot. And when I say study, I really just mean doing something over and over and over and over and over and over again. Honestly, there is no shortcut. There is no cheat code to learning anything. You have to do it over and over and over again. That's the only way. That is the only way. Yeah, unless you're like a savant or something. you're gonna have to do it over and over and over again. Okay, so we have that. We have some good there. Like I said, it's not nothing extravagant. You know, we're not worrying about how good the boot looks right now. We'll worry about specifics later when we get to it. Right now, so these have moved off center. This is moved off center. So I'm going to zero that on the x-axis. There we go. Let's move that a bit closer, and then we can apply the location. All right, now we're going to grab this, make his arms. Make sure they're in the right place first. For sure. Whoops. Control A, apply the scale. Now we sculpt. All right. Hold this. So, and you just move the pieces like clay. Really simple forms. Do not overthink it. So what I've been doing for work a lot is just drawing faces and body types and coming up with ways to simplify those forms. I see what's going on here. I did it again. Okay. But yeah. Because if you look at a lot of character art, particularly for like your favorite cartoons, you'll notice that they use a lot of simple shapes. And not only that, they'll repeat shapes a lot in their designs. And so I've been charged with creating a document for designs, and I've just been going through taking, finding references and creating characters in a style that matches said references. What's good, brother? All right, so now I'm gonna duplicate this. And then I'm gonna duplicate this. Move it over here. Go to sculpt mode. Down. Blocking it out. And this is what we call the block out stage. We're just going through and making sure everything is proportional and looks right for the most part. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I've been going for definitely need to stay up on the work. Yeah, life be getting to you, man. It really, it's just a journey. You just got to keep learning and keep pushing through. The thing is to not give up. You got to keep pushing forward, regardless of the circumstances. If you give up, then you give up. It's over. It's only over when you give up, when you decide to stop. So if you can push through, then you will see some modicum of success. if not outright success. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I know I've been absent from the party for a little bit, but I'm hopefully, we'll see. I don't want to make any strong promises till I have a track record. That's my new goal. Start promising things when I feel a bit more comfortable with that. Let's see here. So now we turn these into the forearms. All right, and you see how quickly things are coming together. Really, because we're not focused on doing anything extravagant, right? We're only focused on simple shapes. That is our only focus right now, is conveying what the form is in as loose and simple a fashion, but that's still readable and understandable to the viewer. Okay, so here we come in, put the thing down there. I'm enjoying this stream on a new 1440p widescreen 34-inch curved monitor. Hey, nice! I bet you that's pretty cool. I need to get me a curved monitor. How much did that curved monitor run you, by the way? For some reason, computer monitors are more expensive than televisions. And I don't understand. I don't understand. Because in my mind, a TV that's like 55 inches should cost way more than a monitor that's 24 inches, you know, with a much smaller screen and viewing space. Never quite understood how the pricing for that worked out. But such is life. This is a huge step up for me. I was on a 720 TV. Oh, word. That's crazy. Yeah, technology has come a very long way. Much like Blender. I don't know if anyone was around back in the day of Blender, what was it, 2.4? Was anyone around for Blender 2.4? That was awesome. Okay, I mean, when I say awesome, I mean incredibly frustrating, but you know, it's awesome to look back and see how, like, astronomically better Blender is now compared to what it used to be. It's kind of insane. And then you look at, like, if you look at the last 10 years of Blender, you'll see growth that's like unimaginable. Okay, you wouldn't even believe that that's the same program. Okay, but then you look at a program like Maya, and you look at the last 10 years of Maya. Maya 2011 or Maya 2024 looks almost exactly like Maya 2011. Like there haven't really been many major changes as far as quality of life improvements or UI updates, you know, anything to update or improve the user experience. You know, Autodesk definitely. Autodesk and it's not Pixelogic anymore. What is it, Maxon for ZBrush? They could both stand to do an update of their user interface. I realize that people have been using them for years, and you know, at this point, they're really just retaining the users that they already have, because new people, more and more new people are going to Blender every day. They're not going to ZBrush or Maya, not anymore. Blender is here, baby. So if they could figure out how to get their stuff looking like this, you know, they'd be doing something. But you were here for Blender 2.8, huh? That's a decent while ago. OGs, but you know, you were there. You were there for some stuff. You were there for some stuff. You saw Blender get a UI update for sure. The first UI update from Blender came back in, what was it, 2. What was it? I think it was 2.5. Yeah, I think that was the first UI update for Blender was in Blender 2.5. That I'm pretty sure. I'm fairly certain. I'm almost positive. And what I am doing here is making space for the muscles. Because he doesn't really have a shirt on. He has like a sweater that's like a tank top, but you can see his muscles a little bit through it. And so this is how your muscles connect. Your chesticles go up here. So this is the time you probably want to use the regular grab brush, like I said. For specific changes, that's what we use this brush for. And it's looking like it's starting to be about time to remesh things. I want to avoid doing that as much as possible in the beginning. Because we're really focusing on the overall forms right now. All right. And let's see how that looks. That's not looking too bad as far as proportions go. All right, we'll give him a neck and a head, and then we'll start with the, whoops. Then we'll start with the details. Shift D, bam. Drag it over here, Alt G. Bring it upward. Scale it. Visual geometry to mesh. Scale. Okay. Scale this down. And whoops, 2. Make sure you turn on X-axis mirror. Okay. Down. And the neck kind of curves, almost like a beam. Something like that. See how that looks. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. Okay. And then Shift D. Just gonna bring this bean up. And now this will become our head. Let's see here. I remember learning about what Blender and rigging was before, and being in a science class before. Did really well when we learned about bones. Wish I was actively into Blender so I could make jokes. There's plenty of jokage to be had about good old Blender for sure. Like adding the cube or going into Blender, seeing the default cube, deleting it, and then adding another one. It's like, I don't want this. I don't need this cube. And then you think for 2 seconds and like, I can use the cube. I don't know. I feel like it's like a thing where our brains are like, don't tell me what to do, Blender. And then as soon as we start thinking about what we have to do, we realize the cube is probably the way to go. It happens. It happens. I'm not the only one, trust me. If you used Blender long enough, you totally opened up Blender, saw the cube, deleted it, and then 2 seconds later created a whole new cube. You've totally done this. All right. So, as we continue on with the face, it's important to map the planes of the face. Try to get as much of the shape, like the overall basic shape of the face as you can with this simple amount of geometry, you know, which clearly isn't a lot. But just try to get as close to what you would perceive the shapes of his face to be. All right, and then bring this up here. What's up here? Also, yeah, what do you guys think about the? I don't know if anyone said anything yet, but do you guys think the volume is fine? The music isn't too loud, anything like that? Like it's not too distracting, is it? Because I spent longer than I wanted to trying to figure out how to get that to work. And if I don't need to do that in the future, then I won't. You guys don't mind the silent stream? Alright. Seems like a okay size head. Yeah, we might want to shrink up the neck a bit though, for sure. Alright. Alright, I'm not going to worry about the hands because they take too long. They take too long to do right now. I'm going to worry about them, but not right now. So now, we're going to start with the body. We're going to remesh. 0.05. So we don't need a whole lot of geometry right now. So we really only need to worry about the major forms. So just forgive me if my arm was hitting the microphone there. Make that, okay, so we're going through and we're making the anatomy, working on the chest here. There's a cut that comes down the center, and then you make the area for the clavicle bone come down, and there's like a bit of a triangular dip in there in the area that holds your trapezius muscles on top of your neck. Final Fantasy VII, brother. I mean, Cloud Strife. You must not have played Final Fantasy VII before, because Cloud Strife would be a giveaway if you had. Which is fine, you know, not everyone has to play Final Fantasy. No judgment here, no judgment here. No one thinks you're lame or uncultured or swine. No one thinks that, no one thinks that at all. No one thinks that at all, no one thinks that. Anyway, we're going through sculpting, and we have our muscles here. We're beginning our muscles. On the 360? Good Lord. Which one? Which Final Fantasy? He played the intro! And then you fell off immediately. Isn't that right? Hey man, sometimes it happens, okay? I've played some games before that like people swear up and down were the greatest games of all time, and I could not for the life of me care enough to finish the game. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Maybe I just wasn't built for it. Yeah. Like games where the dialogue, where it's just too much, like you're explaining too much of the world to me. I want to figure out what the world is. Yeah, I'm with you. Don't tell me how awesome you are. I need to see that. I need to play it in the game that I bought. See? As kids, we know what good stuff is. Like kids know what's good. We know what's good. You know? I'm not a kid, but I'm saying I'm a kid at heart. And because I am, I know what's good. And the stuff that's coming out today is kind of whack, I must say. That's why we're here. That's why I'm teaching you people how to create things so that when it's your turn, when it's our turn, we can create some awesomeness. People will look back and go, oh man, that was awesome. Oh, 13. Oh, wow. You said it was way off. Yeah, you would be way off. Well, if it was 9 or 13. But hey, you know, memories. Okay, I'm not going to worry about this for too long. That is the trap that I fall into every time, is worrying about one thing for way too long. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. I'm going to, okay, there's no modifiers on this. No, there is a modifier. I am going to Control J those. Go to scope mode. I'm going to remesh these to 0.05. It's a little too low. We'll go 0.0, or a little too high. 0.025. You heard me! And boom. All right, there we go. That's good. These are the pants. We don't really have to waste too much time. BS here. Let's get to it. Which is good, which is good. We don't need to worry about anatomy or anything like that right now. Anatomy is not our concern. I mean, you should be concerned with anatomy. I'm not saying don't think about it. I'm just saying, and the music has stopped, which means the playlist is over. Over here. Gonna have to start the playlist from here. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. Need the music. Thank you, sir. Very much. Whew. And the thing is, you got to trust the process too. It's gonna start off looking crappy. It is. It's not gonna look good for a minute. It's gonna take a second before the goodness starts to fall through. But the goodness is coming. Believe in the goodness. It is coming. Trust me. Okay. Okay, so right through making some wrinkles here. Alright, so get good wrinkles. What I like to do, what I've been doing lately anyway, is I have been using the crease brush. Or is this the crease brush? What is this? This is Draw Sharp. I've been doing Draw Sharp mixed with a bit of pinching, like so. and you see I get these nice crispy wrinkles like so. Just like so. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through the pants and do this to the pants. Let's see here. Let's go. So there's a lot to think about at all times when sculpting. Is, you know, because you have to go in and do the details, but you have to also make sure that the silhouette doesn't change and mysteriously become wackalicious. So if you make a outward crease with your draw sharp brush, then it has to be followed by a crease inward that kind of solidifies the peak and valley of it for real stylized clothing like we're making here. These are definitely stylized clothes. Although, the one thing that I like these pants down here a bit more than these, because the wrinkles make more sense. Like, it's not that they don't make sense up in the picture, it's just, I think the 3D wrinkles make a bit more sense to me, so. Just gonna go through that. So, and come through, scratch these down. Okay, so another thing to do when you're making these wrinkles is to smooth out the sides that, like when you're indenting. So if you're making a cut, so if I grab the draw sharp brush and I make a cut outward like this, right? I want this outer cut to have a defined indent or the end of the wrinkle on either side, and then to make sure there's not a obvious peak and valley situation going, you just smooth out the sides that you indented on, and then you go through, you can grab your pinch brush and pinch this nicely, and then you have a wrinkle, you know, a stylized wrinkle. You know, we're not making photorealistic wrinkles. We're not doing that. Not worried about photorealism. And in fact, I'm just going to join both of these now. So I'm going to Control A, Control J, and then I'm going to sculpt mode, remesh it. So now, pants are 1. Okay. And this is good. This is very good. Bring these boots up, or the bottoms of the pants up just a little bit. And drink some Powerade to rejuvenate my cells. Also, 48 hours to complete a game is a long ass time to play a game. That is a long time to play a video game. You know, you gotta figure out how to like parse that out between days, because you could spend a lot of time in front of the TV. You know, it'll get away from you, especially if you have things that like like are more productive for you to be doing. It's I don't know. It's just I've been struggling. With my TV time versus my work time for sure. And I that's part of the reason why I haven't been around. I have been, I call myself studying to figure out the aspects of like storytelling and things like that inspired me when I was younger, so that I can remember what inspired me so I can better push myself forward. It's definitely been a struggle for your boy to maintain it's been a struggle to maintain like creativity, like constant creativity. I don't know. The war is in your mind. That's really what it is. The most of the battle that's fought, as far as what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it, all that's fought in the mind. If you can overcome the BS that's going on in your own mind, then you can overcome the world. For sure. Is there some BS going on? I'll think about these wrinkles. I like this setup right here. So now I'm going to, you know what? I'll leave the pants alone for now, and I'm gonna go to a different area of the body. I'm going to go to the face, and I'm going to remesh this to 0.01, and I'm just gonna make a better face real quick. Okay. We're just gonna go through here and make this make a little bit more sense. This brush here. And for the face again, you really want to pay attention to the planes of the face. Yes, there is. It should be in the link in the description. There is indeed a Discord for everyone to join. I'm gonna, and that's the thing, that's another thing. I need to overhaul the Discord as well. Not necessarily overhaul it, but I need to be more active in there. Like, I'm certain there's a way to like have like topics of open discussion of some sort. I've tried to start discussions, they just never go anywhere. And maybe that's because I'm terrible at keeping the discussion going. I'm just kind of hoping that when I start the discussion, people will just fill in the rest for me. So here's an open question to you guys. What are some of the other things about Blender or 3D in general that you would like to learn to help you along your creative journeys? I know one guy was talking about he wanted to make motion comics. I can definitely show you how to put something together like that, but that's not necessarily my stilo. This is motion comics. I mean, motion comics are just basically simple animation when you really think about it. It could be as simple as complex as you want it to be, really. Can't get too focused on the nose. The answer to what I want to learn is yes. Fair enough, my friend. Want to take it all in. That's good. That's good. You should have that mindset because it's a lot to take in. And you're never really done learning, especially when you think you are. if you ever think you're done learning, go look at somebody that you think is better than you, and you'll remember that you're not done. You'll remember pretty quick that you're not quite finished yet. And if you think that you've gotten to a point where you're better than the person that you first thought was better than you, find somebody that you think is better than you again, and repeat the process. Because like I said, learning never stops. You're gonna be figuring out new crap your whole life. Alright, so Cloud's face is very... Cloud has a pretty Alright, let's just be real. Cloud has a pretty effeminate face, and we're just being straight up. He is definitely more on the feminine side. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not nothing to knock it for. Just pointing that out for facial feature purposes. I've been doing a lot of studying of facial features, and I just now realized, just looking at them, doing this sculpt here, he indeed has very feminine features. But that's besides the point. I guess that's why he was able to pass as a girl that one time. So fair enough. Continuity-wise, it makes sense. So what I'm doing now is I'm just ensuring that I have the planes of the face properly mapped out. And one last thing here. And so this line is we're not really going to see that line a whole lot in the actual face in the end. But I draw these lines, like I said, so that I can visualize the plane changes of the head a bit more, and then I can basically do this right here. I can smooth over these sections, right? And once I smooth them over, they won't be as prominent anymore. But because I made those changes in the first place, you'll notice that the head has now conformed to those cuts that I made, right? So now I have all the planes of the face mapped out, but he doesn't necessarily look like an old person, right? And that's because I'm taking care to not go too in depth with detail, one, and two, I'm really just focused on silhouette. Really focused on silhouette and the outline of everything. And looking at everything, I think his head is a little too big. So we're just gonna scale it down a little bit. I think that's better. Also, his chest is a little too wide. So we're going to narrow that in a bit. Okay. It was really his torso in general that was a bit too wide. His chest is pretty wide. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. Change the shoulder. There we go. Okay. Very good. So now for his hair. We've been sculpting for almost an hour. Let's grab this again. Just gonna move this right over here. Scale it down. Scale it down. Like so. Okay. And we'll use this to make his hair. Sculpt mode. Remesh this to 0.01. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, guys. We are hoping and praying right now that everything goes right. Because Blender, in fact, my computer is having a very hard time right now. Because I kind of jacked up the church's money. I messed up. You see that subdivision modifier on there? It shouldn't be on there. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. Is OBS even still working? Oh man, Blender is probably confused as hell right now. Yeah. Okay. It might be worth it. I know Blender autosaves. So we're just gonna, we might have to go in and find an autosave. So here's how you troubleshoot your Blender if it crashes. Because my computer's having a hard time right now, guys. I'm really sorry. Gonna get to Blender here. Just end that real quick. Okay. Okay. We should be good. Hopefully we're back to normal. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys there? Let me go to chat. Ugh. Tube. Okay. Oh, okay. Haha. We're good. We're back. No, it seems like we're good now. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that, everybody. Everything is coming back online. Blender's coming back online. Give it a second. It's loading. We had some technical difficulties. Everything is smoothing itself back out. I'm pretty sure. I believe. I'm choosing to believe. Okay, Blender has shown back up. All right, so in order to recover some lost data, boom, there you go. And I didn't make that big of a change, so I'm not tripping too hard. It hurts my feelings a little bit, but it was my fault. I didn't pay enough attention to what I was doing. And that will happen. That will absolutely happen sometimes. So we're just gonna pick up the speed a little bit here. And I will totally take that advice that you gave if that happens next time. Yeah, I did a remesh operation when the object still had a subdivision surface on it. That's what happened. That's what happened. It crashed because I was trying to remesh something that already had a subdivision surface, and so Blender just didn't know. It just didn't know what to do, how to even perform that operation, so it just crapped out, which is understandable. I wouldn't know how to do that neither if I was a computer. Okay, so right now, trying to get the quintessential like anime mouth going, because you know Cloud, he's really just an anime character through and through. He's totally an anime dude, straight from Japan, from the land of the rising sun. Okay, so we got that down. Getting this down a little bit. And the way you can tell that your planes are changing correctly is by the shadows. If your shadows are correct, then your face is correct. If your shadows look wonky, your face is probably wonky in some way. You'll want to fix that. Okay, so now I can go through and just add this sharpness. Here, through here, that. Nostrils there. And then, okay. Go. All right. So, like I said, I'm just worrying about silhouette right now. Not trying to make any major changes to the features. But I do want to make sure, like I said, that all of my planes are in place. So, I'll go ahead and do that again. Thing I did last time. Make my planes very known. And then you go in and you just smooth out those transitions. And the transitions will be smooth, the character won't look ancient, and you'll have the proper setup for the rest of your facial features. It's a win-win-win-win-win. There's nothing but winning going on. Nothing but a bunch of winning. All right. Grab the elastic deform brush again. And that's definitely, like I said, for especially like contour changes, you want to use the elastic deform brush for sure. That is the way to go. Definitely. So finishing up this, I'm gonna puff out the cheek just a little bit more, but not like astronomically. Not a whole heck of a lot. Not a whole heck of a lot. Okay, I'm sorry. Started feeling that music. The music started getting good to me.
And now you've got yourself something funky.
Alright, go. There we go. And then we can bring out this a little bit. Like so. Head's a bit too big, like we said. Good. Chest is a little bit too wide. Just the shoulders. We want the shoulders to kind of have a triangular shape about them. All right, so now we'll go in here and we'll add a ear right around here. Start dragging it out. Yeah, it's pretty much as simple as just picking a spot on the existing face and dragging some ears out. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all you gotta do. There you go. You can remesh again. Adjust. Or maybe we want the top of the ear to kind of line up with what would be the top of the eyelid. And there are different landmarks of the face that you can like kind of look out for, and that'll help you with your planning. Like I said, the ears, the top of the ears generally touch the top of the middle section of the eye, either or. You know, every character is different, obviously, but the rule is, it's a general rule. Cloud has decently sized ears as well. All right. Decent. Okay. Now I'm going to join these two things together. And I'm going to remesh this at 0.01. So now we have something going here. And we're not going to worry too much about, like getting the anatomy super correct, especially around the neck. He has a this like scarf-esque thingamabobber on. That and his shirt, while tight fitting, still is loose enough to wrinkle around him. So we're not gonna do like a six-pack or anything. The only thing that really shows up from his shirt is his chest muscle. So we'll accentuate that form. Probably do something with the back as well. I would assume that if his chest is popping out like that, then his back is pretty cut. So we'll just give him some back muscles like this that pop out. Okay. So remember I was talking about the wrinkles of the pants? It's a similar thing with stylized muscles. Really, if you're doing anything stylized, you have to establish a cliff and a valley. Once you establish the cliff, it's a lot easier to establish the valley. Or peak and valley. Yeah, that's better. The peak and the valley. It's a good way to describe stylized art. Watch out for the peak and the valley. Yeah, so I thought the blades are a little too low. It's a little bit too low. And, you know, sometimes even for muscles on like non-muscular characters, it's good to like slice in areas and then smooth them over later. So you still have the correct structure, but you're not super committing to the bulk. Okay. And then we'll grab this, Shift D, apply that. Top of the head, scale that down. And remember exactly what went wrong last time, so it won't go wrong this time. Let's make sure that we apply the scale. Okay, before we remesh it. So now we're gonna jump into working on the hair real quick. I don't know if it remeshed, but I'll do it again. All right. Okay. So for the hair. So we got this glob here. Basically gonna take this glob and go hand with it. And we can remesh this. Okay. I'm gonna use a snake hook for this. Just grab out. I know how this looks right now, guys, okay? You don't have to tell me. And trust me, it won't look like this for long. You just have to trust in the process that it will come through. Now is a good time to remesh. The Japanese love this particular style of spiky hair. I'm pretty sure we have Toriyama to thank for that. Which is something else we have him to thank for. Yes, rest in peace, Toriyama Sensei. I thought about doing a video or something expressing how I felt, but then I saw everyone else doing it, and I thought, I'm not. I'm the type of person that as soon as I see everybody else doing something, I'm the type of person that don't want to do it no more. Like, oh no, this is a trend now? A trend to talk about your emotional connection with Dragon Ball? Yes, definitely. Okay, I know this hair looks awful right now, guys. Look at it. Look at how noodly and trash and garbage this hair looks. Okay, but it won't be like that forever, guys. Trust me. You have to believe me. I know what I'm talking about. So I'm really just trying to push and pull this shape as much as I can to get the effect that I'm going for, you know. And again, the thing is, I'm trying to keep in mind that it's supposed to look ugly. Because you'll start doing something and it'll look like this, and you're thinking, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? This looks awful. I need to throw this away. And obviously, I need to start all over again because this is trash. No, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Finish. Finish. Trust the process, and it'll work. If you trust in the process, it'll work. You have to go through the steps. And there are some steps, you know? There are definitely steps involved that, if not taken correctly, will cause you anguish in the future. So now it's time to remesh this again. And you see it's coming together. It doesn't stay completely garbage for forever, you know. You just gotta, like I said, move and work with the process. Okay, so I'm good for that. I'm going to take down more of this front hair. All right, and then we're gonna remesh this. All right. Let's move this over a little bit so it matches a bit more closely with the reference images. Okay. Definitely don't want hair coming straight out. That is a bad. Never want the hair to be straight out. Okay, so now go in here, and I'm going to drag that up a little bit. Okay, so then we remesh this again. First, in 3 dimensions, you kind of have to you know, in real life, the hair would take a lot longer. Like, well, not in real life, but you know, in like an actual character model, it would take so much longer. And of course, it would look much better. But there are things you can do to give your hair this sort of anime feel to it without going too crazy. Okay, here we go. That's nice. All right, so the other thing is to go through and make sure everything looks good from every angle. So something that can help you with this is the this tool right here, the pose tool. So let's say I want to move this strand without warping it too much. I can just rotate it like so. That result, which is good. That's what I want. And come out here. All right. Then what we can do is kind of like bump that up a little bit. You know, give it that spikiness. Anime hair is so well known for. Give it that bump up and spikiness right there. Okay. See, the hair isn't complete trash. And we're not gonna, you know, it's not gonna be super extravagant. There we go. But it is going to resemble the hair enough. All we have to do, look at our reference here. There's a very clear split in his hair. So that's good. So we will go through and we'll draw that split. We'll draw all the splits coming through here. That's fine, we'll draw that. Coming through here. Okay. And then, you know, soon we'll add another detail level in here, and by that I mean we'll remesh this again. Control C to cancel command for the last operation of blank page freezing apparel. Word! I'm definitely going to try that next time. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, because that happens to me quite often. I'll do something and I didn't realize that it was a operation that was too powerful for Blender to hand, and Blender decided to take its matter into its own hands and crash on me. Opposite of fun times, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna use that next time that happens, for sure. Okay. I'm going to use the elastic deform now. Stretch that out just a little bit more. Damn. All right. We're going in, we're taking those valleys, making them a bit more pronounced. Okay. Still got some changes to make in here. But, like I said, it's all coming together nicely. So what you can do to make this hair a bit more sharp is, like I said, use the draw sharp brush, go in here and touch the like kind of corners or edges of the hair with the draw sharp, and then you go in there with the pinch brush to kind of solidify the shape in there. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. You'll see what I'm talking about. Just going in, picking like a nice spot to pronunciate that angle. I don't know if that's the right word for that. I am trying. I'm gonna go through and read the dictionary. I clearly need to. I'm trying to find words to describe the actions I'm taking, and man, holy crap. And that's my fault. I used to care a lot more about exact vocabulary, and as I got older, I just stopped caring. Because it seemed like, well, especially when I got to college, like people weren't, like my teachers didn't want me to call them Mr. or Ma'am or Sir. People just weren't as much of a stickler for vocabulary as I originally thought they would be, or was raised to think that they would be. So I definitely kind of relaxed on my like my sort of sticklerness, my anality about language. I don't know. I feel like I'm making up words to describe what I'm going through. Okay, so this is what I would call not total garbage hair, and so we're gonna be fine with this for now. We will figure out faster ways to sculpt hair when the time comes. It will happen. Oh man, the fact that it's 10 o'clock right now is crazy. Okay, so now we need to go to object mode, and we need to actually Shift E this, Alt G, grab, bring this up, apply that, scale it down, Control A, apply the scale, scope mode, X-axis mirror. I'm just gonna bring this up. This is gonna be our little collar thing here. Like his turtleneck collar, because that's exactly what it is. The boy Cloud is more comfortable in a turtleneck. All right, turtleneck accomplished. So right now, what we're gonna do is we're going to apply the modifiers for this. We're gonna join everything up, remesh it. Good. Good. Okay, so I'm just going through, making some quick edits here, because I'm gonna make the shirt. Or yeah, I'm gonna make the shirt. And I mean, really, we don't have to do a whole lot for the shirt. In fact, I'm pretty sure I might be able to get away with doing this right here. I think I might be able to get away with this. And I don't think we should try. Here's what we go. Here's what we do. We mask it. We go fall off, smooth, constant, and change the strength to 1. Just gonna mask all of this up. Like so. Yeah. That's the way to go for sure. Just bring the mask all the way around. So we have that. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right. And now we go to mask and see we have this mask extract button. And all these settings should be good. We're just gonna hit OK. And so now that we have this extracted, what we're going to do is go into sculpt mode again, and all we need to do is go around with the inflate brush, and you'll see there we go. So now we have our shirt separated out. You go through, you definitely want to smooth out these edges for sure. And you can see this is a solidify modifier. So you want to keep in mind that that because it's a solidify modifier, that it might use a bit more computing power, especially the higher you remesh this. So if I were you working with this shirt, I really wouldn't remesh it right now until you've applied the modifier, and then remesh the shirt. But I wouldn't remesh it until you've applied the modifier, for sure. That would be a bad. Okay. So for the wrinkles of the shirt, I'm really just going through and kind of like getting kind of roughing it out a little bit. Like, we want the wrinkles to come through, but we don't want it to be too destructive. Okay. And also, we'll apply it later. We'll apply it in a second. Okay. So for the shirt, I'm going to take some of these wrinkles here, do the technique that I told you about earlier. You swipe through and you create ridges and valleys, or peaks and valleys, and then you go through and you pinch together the valleys and the peaks at the bottom. And that kind of gives you a stylized wrinkle or stylized fold. And then, you know, you don't want it to be too extreme. Always, you know, smooth it out. You definitely want to add some of this in here. And then pinch it together. And this, like I said, this creates or helps create the illusion, stylization. We got some more wrinkles to create over here. So I'm gonna make a big one. Like so. I'm gonna have that followed by this. I'm gonna have that go down like that. Gonna have a few going across the back like this. And this wrinkle right here separate. Then this one have through like that. That, and we'll have another one come through like that. Whoops. Okay, so what I'm basically just planning out my wrinkles right now. Just planning out where I want them to be. And then, now that I have that, I can go in, like I said, and because I've created the peaks, so now I'm creating the valleys. And you'll notice that when you go through and you make your peaks and valleys, you're also creating opportunities for more wrinkles. Like here, in this section. So I have my peak here, and I'm going through making my valleys, right? But there's another wrinkle right here. So do I want to use the same valley for both wrinkles, or can I make a cut? And now I have a new avenue to explore wrinkles. So I can make that wrinkle concave, I can bring it out, I can do whatever I want. I'm just gonna leave it as is for now. So same thing with this right here. Just gonna make that valley right there. Gonna make this valley right here. So we could totally make another wrinkle out of that. Like so. Okay. Then of course you want to smooth it out a little bit so it's not so sharp. Absolutely. Do you use studio or game drivers for Blender? I don't know what you mean by that. Studio or game drivers? I have drivers for like NVIDIA on my, but that's because I have an NVIDIA machine though. So I really wouldn't know what types of modifiers you're talking about. So for this wrinkle right here, I think we'll get rid of that one. I'll let this be a valley. And then I'll make a peak right next to it. This peak. Okay. All right. We'll revisit the shirt as soon as we'll call these wrinkles here done in a little bit, and then we'll revisit the shirt later. Don't want to take too long on it. Okay. And it'll also help. We just brought this out a little bit more. Yeah. For sure, for score, and for sure. All right. Yeah, I'm honestly, bro, I don't know what I'm using. I'm just using whatever came with the computer. And you know what Blender runs on. I set my settings up to run with the graphics card. So I did do that in like the system preferences. I set it up to use my GTX graphics card for sure. But what drivers it's using, I have no idea. I did not do that much digging into things. Which I probably could have. Maybe even say should have. It's my computer after all. And the thing is with these wrinkles too, the size of the peak will determine like how, you know, the size of the wrinkle itself. So if you draw a really big peak in there, then the valleys have to be, you know, they have to match. A lot of triangles and V shapes and wrinkles as well. So if you mix in a healthy amount of triangles and V shapes, your wrinkles will they'll look distinguishable. I like these two. I don't like these going on right here. So I'm just gonna smooth that out. And I guess I'm gonna use a bigger brush when making these wrinkles over here. I'm gonna come in with this brush right here. That'll have this come up. This way. Just go down and just go out like that. There we go. So now we can come back in here with a smaller brush and worry about these valleys a little bit more. And really, this part is really the only part that has to look good, because we are making a belt-like thing. We got this plane here. I'm gonna rotate this 90 degrees. Whoops. Actually, I'm going to delete this. I'm gonna try something. I'm going to make a cube again. And I'm going to subdivide the crap out of it. Yes. And then scale it down.
If you came to prove, there's no reason to prove.
Right. Go into sculpt mode, go into x-axis mirror. Yeah, because see, the thing is, guys, you want to start doing a lot of your editing in sculpt mode. You really do.
And now you've got yourself something funky.
Sculpt mode is, it's so much faster. It's so much faster than regular modeling. The stuff you can do as far as changing shapes around, warping objects, all that good stuff. Sculpt mode. Sculpt mode, baby. See here. Give it on the Y. Give it on the Y. We're not scaling it, we're moving it a little bit. Give it that roundness. Bring it back in. Down here like so. And then we'll make a plane, rotate it x-axis 90 degree. God. Okay, I see what's going on. Global. All right. Z, we're gonna rotate it like so. All transforms. So I meant to edit that in edit mode. I jacked up there, but that's fine. X, G, Y, X. Control R, D, Y, X. Okay. We have the thing. I'm going to add a solidify modifier to this. Inward. And just going to apply it. I'm going to go to sculpt mode. I'm going to remesh this. There we go. Okay. So now we have the belt. Oops. And we can place it . I know exactly how you feel, my friend. And while you're learning, that's true. That is true while you're learning. But after you're like, okay, once you sculpted like 4 or 5 characters completely from scratch, you don't have to sculpt another character from scratch again. If you don't. It's good to do it to maintain your practice, because not everything is going to have a template, right? You're not going to have a set in stone starting point for everything. But at the same time, when you can, you should use a template or something like that, because it would save time. The time save, you know, it's just worth it. It's just worth it at the end of the day. I use, like, I don't, like, when I'm at work, I don't make everything from scratch at work. I make some stuff from scratch at work if I have to, but if I don't, we have presets for stuff. I'll go in, and if I need to make any sort of edits to the preset, then I will, obviously. But the preset is there, you know, and that in and of itself saves us a ton of time. Just having the preset there. So yeah, I would say it's definitely a bit of a cheat when you're, like I said, when you're first starting off learning, when you're trying to figure everything out. If I were you, I would try to do most of the stuff from scratch, just so that I know what it took or what it takes to make something. You know, I'm just not relying on everyone, because if you do run into a situation where you need to make something but you don't have a template for it, and you're used to working with templates, okay, well then you're kind of screwed, because you know you've been using, you know, pre-made assets and add-ons the whole time. Now you don't know how to actually make the model. So I would say definitely while you're learning, don't do it. But once you have a good idea of what you're trying to do, go ahead. Go ahead. Because it saves time. A lot of time. Unbelievable amounts of time. Absolutely. In fact, I would go through and I would just, if you really want to avoid feeling some type of way about potentially taking credit for someone else's work, what you can do is literally make a library of different things that, you know, for different projects you might need them. So like, let's say you have a library of different hands, or a library of different faces, or a library of belts and buckles and loops and all that, right? You make a library, and then now Blender with its new asset library properties, you can literally just create an entire asset library that you can have standard in every time you install Blender. And when you start sculpting something, because you've already created the asset for it, or created the asset for a piece of it, you can just go in, find a particular asset, boom, there you go, you got your thing. So that is totally a possibility. Or certainly. Oh man, how that guy sculpts so fast, I'll never understand. Every time I start one of these, in my head I'm thinking, we'll get it. We're not gonna take 2 hours to sculpt the body, and then here I am 2 hours later. And I'm still not where I want to be with the sculpt. I was hoping to be close to done. But that's that's just the thing. You gotta keep doing it. But if I did this more often, it wouldn't be as bad. That's because I keep taking too many breaks. That's fine. That's totally fine. What we're gonna do, we're gonna keep pushing through. We're gonna trust in the process, like I said. and everything will work out for you. Everything will come together. Everything will come together. I believe. I believe. Okay. I believe in myself. Okay, here we go. Okay, slicing that bottom part off a little bit. This is me in the chokehold, and it made me wonder if it was a form of cheating. Oh yeah, no, definitely not. The asset library, that's what it's there for. If you, especially like I said, if you really don't want to feel any type of way about using someone else's stuff, just make your own stuff, make it in a Blender file, and put that Blender file in the asset library. Boom, there you go. You got assets of stuff that you made yourself, and no one can take that from you. No one can take it from you. No one can say that you are using someone else's stuff, because you made an asset library and you're just pulling from your library. Problem solved. Nobody can say a doggone thing about it. And you don't have to feel no type of way. I mean, real stuff, you don't have to feel no type of way anyway, because if people make things to be put into and used for asset libraries, or for projects like that, you don't have to feel bad about using it. That's what it's there for. I would the only time, like I said, if it's, as long as it's not a crutch, as long as you don't need someone else's stuff to make something, and then I would say that's a problem. Like, if you're like, that's why I don't like AI, to be honest with you, because it's not, there's no real artistic input happening. The AI is just kind of doing something for you, and you're like telling it what to do. Like you're the director and the AI is the worker, right? And I would rather put in that work, personally. And these wrinkles need to be way bigger if they're gonna show up. So for pants, you really, for the wrinkles, you don't want to have mirror on. You kind of have to do the pants the old-fashioned way. And by the old-fashioned way, you know what I mean. You're going through each side of the leg and figuring out the wrinkles, And because the pants are stylized, again, don't be afraid to make some pretty big wrinkles. They should be pretty big, it'll help them pronounce, help the forms show up more. So let me go here and cross that up. See, now we got a few good wrinkles going on down here. Okay. And the other thing is we want to make sure that this knee is popped out, so that the pants, you can tell that the knee makes contact with the pants. It just helps visually sell that there's something inside there. Ooh, let's go back to draw sharp. Wrinkle there. Crease that up, crease that up. make another one here and then here. Crease that up. Crease that. Gotta go. All right. Okay, I was struggling a little bit to get my settings back. Okay. All right, we're good. We're good. No need to alarm or panic. And the thing is, we don't want wrinkles like that going on in the back of the pants. Really, because the pants back here is where the butt is. So the butt kind of actually pushes forward on the cloth of the pants. And that, you know, that pushes the wrinkles forward. So the wrinkles, so if the butt is tight on the clothes, then that means that the wrinkles would form from the sides like this. They wouldn't really go across the cheeks like that. Also, does he have pockets? I haven't seen any pockets on him. I'm going to assume he does. I'm going to give him some pockets. I don't know about you guys, but if I'm going to give a guy some pants, he needs pockets. No character of mine is going to be giving up on life without pockets. Because let's be real, if you don't have pockets, you've probably given up on life. You probably just say it's enough is enough. Because how can you live without pockets? As a man. I just don't understand. I need my pockets. Say all that to say that my character's gonna have pockets. I think I could get away with something like that. Yeah, I think I can get away with that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're getting away with it. We are getting away with it. We're running with it. Yes, sir. Okay. I'm happy with that. I like the way that that shape is forming. And see, a lot of times with stylized stuff, you know, you got to throw some things at the wall, see what sticks. Once you find a shape that you like, man, go for it. Just make it. Don't second guess yourself. And that's another thing. Don't second guess yourself too much. You can't, because you'll never get anything done. If something looks wonky, go with it, you know? Fix it the next time you make it, you know? Not everything has to be perfect first time you make it. I'm about to, you know, you can sculpt a lot more often. You can do things a lot more often if you're not worried about being perfect every time you do it. Because if you're worried about getting it exactly, you know, you could discourage yourself when you inevitably don't, and you know, then now you gotta figure out how to pick yourself back out the gutter you just got out of, you know. Try not to be perfect all the time, because you're not gonna be. It'll never happen. You will get better though. But you'll never be perfect. Sharpen that up. Sharpen this up. Gonna call that there. That's good. That's good. That's good. Right there. Sharpen this up on the side. You see what I'm doing? It's really all about a balance of chopping and then adding and chopping. You see, I'm chopping some, I'm slicing in a little bit. Okay. Now I'm adding. You see how that kind of goes through and creates that effect there. Okay, so we're gonna smooth this out a little bit. We don't want to spend all day on the wrinkles. And I know I can. I'm already over 2 hours. Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah. Now, what I am about to cheat right now, I am going to get a model for some hands. Because that's the thing, hands just take too long. They take too long. Can't do it. They take too long. You should totally have a preset for your hands. Pretty sure I have a thing for the hands. Okay, I'm gonna have to open up one of these and see what the hands are doing. Alright, prepare yourselves. I might have, in case it's one of these things that's for work, so I can't actually show you guys what's going on with it. I just need the hands. I'm gonna have to chop up the hands, aren't I? All right. Separate that. LP selection. Got this. Gonna export this. I'm exporting a hand right now. You can't see it, but it is happening. Trust me. All right, and then we're gonna import this hand. Oh man, I might have shot myself in the foot. All right, here we go. There we go. And baby, yeah, see, and I made this hand myself. I didn't buy this hand from anyone or anywhere. I made it myself. So I don't feel any type of way about putting this hand on here because I've already done the work of making the hand. I feel no type of way about that at all. There we go. And now I'm going to, well, actually, let me see. It's been 2 hours. I'm gonna start again tomorrow. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and finish this sculpt. This is what I could do in 2 hours today. But you gotta learn when to quit. You gotta learn when to call it quits too, because it's getting late. But this is this is good. You know, we did a lot. We got a shirt going. We got pants. We made a full body, hands, face, hair. So we got a good amount of stuff going here for only 2 hours or so. Yeah, for real. Like the hands just take too long. Like some stuff you have to be okay with finding cheats for. And it really helps if you've already made a library of separate assets that you can use over and over again. It just helps. You know, you're not going through making the same thing over and over again. Yeah. So I will see you guys tomorrow, probably around like 7 or 8, and we will continue Sculpting Cloud. Hopefully, we'll finish it tomorrow. And then next week, we're gonna get another character and start from scratch again and try to finish it in a couple hours again. And we're not gonna stop until we get a character that we can model completely in 2 hours from start to finish and have it look exactly like what we're seeing on the thing. I'm not stopping until I get there. So, thank you guys so much for joining me on the stream. Please feel free to check out the Discord and all that. And let me know what you think about this new setup. Like, you see the camera is like front facing, so you can see my face a bit more. I have background music. It's been the same few songs, but that's because the playlist, 1, is jacked up, and 2, I don't have a whole bunch of music, so I gotta find more royalty-free music, so I'll try to do some of that tomorrow too. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace. Have a good night.